I'd like to introduce three short videos. They're really for people that perhaps are in sales and finding it a bit tough at the moment, or perhaps on the job search, or if you're running your own business. And they're called sort of keep at it. When the going gets tough, we need to keep at it, because if we don't do it, who's going to do it for us? We all know what the answer to that is: no one. So the first one I'd like to talk about is about being very organised, and that's obviously the one I'm going to do in a moment. The next one I want to sort of talk about your network and utilising that, or your tribe, as I like to call it. I'm not sure where we got the word network from, in terms of, for many years people have had their tribes and they've gone to their tribe to help them out. So I actually quite like the word tribe. And the third one, which I think is really, really important and a bit on the well-being, is don't feel guilty. Because we feel that we have to be at it all the time. Yeah, we've got to keep at it, but not constantly sort of consumes us in a negative way. So let's crack on with the first one, being very organised. So the key thing to do with all of this is, list all your activities. Whether you're in sales, in business on your own, or if you're looking for a job, think of all the activities that you need to be doing on a regular basis and plan them into your week. Schedule them into your diary, into your Outlook, or whatever system you use. It's really quite important, and quite often I actually do a mind map of all the different activities I need to do, and this then helps me, right, have I got everything covered? The next thing to do is to think about prioritising them. Which ones are going to make the biggest impact? Not the ones that we like doing the most, or the ones that we hate doing, because the ones that we're fearful of doing or perhaps don't want to do, sometimes they're the ones that we should be doing first, because they're going to have the biggest impact. And also the third tip is to set a time period of how long you're going to work. Especially if you're doing it for yourself, you can end up working absolute silly hours, and sometimes you need to say, right, I'm just going to work these hours, because if I keep looking at that computer after that period of time, sort of your head goes a bit crazy. And we're going to talk about sort of creating thinking time in the third video, and sort of the well-being, as I said. So that's really quite important. What's your time period if you're going to work, and stick to it? So for example, at the moment I spend 8 o'clock till 12 o'clock in the morning just prospecting. Then in the afternoon I do my videos and conference calls and Zoom calls and webinars and things like that. So that's how I plan my day. So I do all my, because otherwise if I'm just prospecting totally all day long, it really can be tough going. And also the fourth tip is to explain what you're doing to people who you live with, so they can sort of understand the challenges, and also so they can be supportive, which is really, really quite important. We know that. So be very organised, and under that, list your activities. Make sure you prioritise well. Do the things that make the biggest impact first. Set yourself a time period of when you're going to do those things, and explain to others what you're doing. And that is really quite important. So next week's video is going to be about using your network, using your tribe as support. And the third one we're going to talk about, don't feel guilty. It's something I need to practice a bit more often. So we'll speak to you next week.